right, well, hello, one and all, and welcome to tonight's episode of UPR's Friday Night Smackdown review with myself, the wrestling doll, and my usual co host, the administrator. And tonight we're joined with someone a little special, mainly to me, as the executive consultant said during AEW Dynamite when discussing tonight's the quote unquote wrestler boyfriend who could fuck somebody up if you message me on Instagram. The proclaimed society changer in local Florida independent wrestling, Samuel C.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
And as we get into tonight's SmackDown, how did you feel about it, Administrator?
Oh man, it was a short one. It was definitely a short one. It wasn't too long. I feel like they should do this every week. Like, let's speed through this and get to every week. Get the show done and then go to bed. Like that's how I'm feeling right now. Mike says, "Good evening, Unpopular Review fans. This is Mike Riggs. Welcome to the Christmas Eve episode of Unpopular Reviews for WWE SmackDown for December 24th, 2021. Enjoy the show, everybody." Yep.
Oh, and Mike welcomes you to the show, Samuel. How sweet. And we kick things off on SmackDown with the women's championship match for the belts with Charlotte Flair and Toni Storm. And for most of it, Charlotte Flair was basically throwing Toni around like a rag doll. Like, that's self-explanatory. And Toni has her for a little bit, for a good amount of time, but unfortunately for her, Big Daddy Cool likes to say that Liv Morgan cries every week on the show. Well, Toni Storm was actually crying because she lost to Charlotte Flair, and who knows if or when she's going to get another title opportunity for that. But it wasn't a bad match. It was okay. It was kind of short, but they had to make it short because of the 12 Days of Christmas Gauntlet match and the Miracle on 34th Street street fight with the New Day, Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss and the Usos. And how did you feel about it? Either one of you go ahead. I don't care who.
Go ahead.
I mean, wait. So let me just say, so Toni Storm lost against Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
Like what? Like under a minute or what?
Like maybe under a minute or two, roughly. Maybe 3, the longest.
I mean, okay. So who's facing Charlotte in day one?
We don't know yet. That's the tricky thing. We don't know if it's going to be a rematch or if they're going to put somebody else up. Who can they put SmackDown to go up against her? Sasha Banks again?
I mean, I have a strong feeling they might give it back to Toni Storm because I mean, I don't know. Like in this wrestling world, you get beat by the champion like so many times, and for some odd reason, you earn the crowd respect. So you end up facing a champion at the pay-per-view. So, I mean, that's my 10. I mean, you never know. You might have Toni Storm beat Charlotte Flair at the pay-per-view. So, and the matchup that you saying between what, the New Day and McIntyre versus what?
The Usos and Madcap Moss. 2 matches we're going to see on the day 1 pay-per-view. Which we will discuss later, because that was the main event of the night.
Really?
Yes.
That's kind of shocking. I mean,
why?
The New Day, yes, I can understand it. The Usos, yes, I can understand it. But Drew McIntyre right now?
Yes. Like, it was a 6-man tag match.
Then where was Baron Corbin?
Watching like a scared little kid because he volunteered Moss to go against Drew McIntyre.
I got nothing to say. I'm gonna let
All right, Administrator, your turn.
Yeah. Look, this match they would have had to do. They had a little bit of time, obviously, for all the reasons you said. I think that we're gonna definitely go to a next match of some sort at day 1. I think they're building that card up, so do expect there to be a rematch at day 1. I don't know the probability of Toni Storm taking the belt off of Charlotte though, so. It's pretty interesting. You know, like Toni had a really great showing. Like that's the kind of energy you want to see from Toni. But Charlotte is the safest pair of hands right now for that championship belt. With, you know, Sasha like kind of orbiting that championship as she always does. And, you know, them both putting on some really great matches together. I'd say the SmackDown Women's Championship has a very great looking immediate future.
It definitely does. It really definitely does. And we get into basically what's next, the pretty much one of the only few segments of the night, which was the possibility of Paul Heyman's career being over because he got fired by Roman Reigns last week live on SmackDown for protecting Roman from Brock Lesnar, which he did not want to hear because Heyman was telling the truth, even though he wanted to hear the truth, but he didn't want to hear that. And so he's talking with Kayla, and he's like, "Nope, don't push me. I don't want to talk about all this." But she's like, I'm not trying to poke the bear. I just want to get the honest truth out of you. Like, what do you think's going to happen to you now? He's like, my career might be over. I've been doing this for so long. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to the man, but what can happen to Paul Heyman? Are they going to put him back with Brock, or who are they going to put him with next?
I want, like, I think when we were watching this, like, Chris and I always talk about the little nuances of just the dynamic between Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns and how great that's been since they were paired together since maybe last year. But at this point, removing them from each other and seeing if that same energy exists, I think that's a really great prospect. But I think also with Paul Heyman, he's been in some truth. Paul Heyman has been doing this for over 20 years, and it's from being a promoter, from being, someone that works for Vince McMahon Sr., somebody that's worked with Brock Lesnar and other talent. It's been a really good challenge, you know what I mean, to see where, like, it's going to be a really good, like, challenge to see where he goes from here. Do I foresee him going back to Brock Lesnar? Yes.
Well, as much as, of course, wrestling Barbie doll that's up top that don't really watch wrestling as much like I do, I would say this isn't the first time that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar actually, like, went different ways and went head to head. So I'm with you on that. I have a strong feeling the whole thing between Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns was all of what's what I'm looking for. Just a bunch of clues. Like when I saw Brock Lesnar came back and Paul Heyman was with Roman, I had figured sooner or later Paul Heyman's going to screw him and go back with Brock. I just know sooner or later. So I mean, yes, he was trying to protect Roman Reigns from Brock, because right now Brock Lesnar is not the same old Brock Lesnar back in 2002 when he first started or something like that. Now, like, Brock Lesnar is a beast. Like, I mean, he would beat back then, but right now it's like everybody should be, like, afraid of him now. So I have a strong feeling Paul Heyman will go back with Brock.
I think it's pretty cool seeing Brock in this kind of atmosphere where he's a face, and he's talking for himself, and he's showing he's more than capable when given an opportunity to, like, speak and do things that are creative. Because I think one of the biggest complaints that we've heard about Brock Lesnar is if Brock don't want to do something, Brock's not going to do it. So getting to see his creativity, getting to see all this energy he's bringing to this new character, it's really amazing, honestly. And as much as I'd want to see him paired up with Heyman, I'm thinking that what he's been doing now, does he really need a Heyman at this point? Is he gone to a point where he doesn't really need Heyman at this point, unless he's going back to that heel character that needed a manager as a mouthpiece? You know what I mean? But I mean, we'll definitely see in the coming weeks. I know there's a match at day one with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, so we just gotta kind of wait and see.
But not even that. It's just like I have, like, a lot of conspiracy and thoughts of the whole situation with Bloodline, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar. And I'm literally thinking, like, when Paul Heyman did what he did on Roman, my first thought was, dude, like, have Paul Heyman go back with Brock, bring in Tamina, bring in, I hate to say it, but bring in Naomi, and build the whole entire bloodline and have Naomi and Tamina go after the tag belt. I mean, just think of it. I mean, just
I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the energy. And guys, you don't see what's going on backstage for us, so that's why Sam will see is pausing up a little bit. Our executive consultant is shaking his head. He's our backstage guy tonight, so he's in disagreement, and probably I don't know why he hasn't popped his head in to say what he feels.
Because I gotta be asked to do it, man. But I am gonna have a run for that. Because it's crazy. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review. I am the executive consultant. Not host tonight. I'm backstage, but I'm popping my head in. Joined today by the administrator, Wrestling Doll, as well as we got a wrestler on tonight, Samuel C., the Society Changer. Multiple time champion is on with us tonight, joining us tonight. He's already in there. He's already changing societies because, like, Barbara was on with us on Monday. She was not blushing as much as she's been blushing tonight. So you definitely changed the societies here tonight. Look at her. That's so cute.
Shut up, Chris.
So, hey, I don't understand why nobody mentioned this. This Paul Heyman thing with Roman Reigns is a work. They're setting up Brock Lesnar. That's all it's going. He's going to go back to his tribal chief at Day One in Atlanta next Saturday. That's what's going down, man. Let's go ahead and catch up on some of these comments. Merry Christmas Eve for the best viewer of the year. Hugs and kisses. Tony Storm is just enhancement talent. Her push was killed the moment the Pie BS started. Good evening to my tribal chief of the chat, Mr. Chris Harris. What's up to you, Mr. Mike Riggs? Mr. Mike Riggs says, Barbara and Samuel, Merry Christmas Eve, guys. Just fuck you, Stefan. I don't know what that was.
Literally,
about.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know why I'm
saying shit to you. Hi, Merry Christmas, Barbara. Merry Christmas, Sam. I just met you like 2 minutes ago, but Stefan, fuck you. That's just shit. All right, cool. Matt Mad Dog Kelly says, hi, all. Merry Christmas Eve. George Lewis says, Paul Heyman's going to be in Brock Lesnar's corner at Day One. I can see it happening. Good. We don't have to change glasses. George Lewis, the question is, if Paul Heyman comes out during the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, I think Paul Heyman will screw Roman Reigns. I think you're absolutely wrong. Mr. Mike Riggs says, let me take a breath. Well, I think that WWE Friday Night SmackDown will be a better show. WWE officials Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville can send Paul Heyman back to the number one challenger for the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship, Brock Lesnar. But in reality, I acknowledge my tribal chief, the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. Good job to you, Mr. Mike Riggs. This is why you're intelligent. My tribal chief, Chris Harris, welcome to the show. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Thank you. How are you shaking your head? How are you shaking your head, man? How you come on the show and not acknowledge me anyway? What's going on? I am doing great. That is good. Barb, what happened next on SmackDown? I'm going to join you for a while. I'll wait for my friend. He's over there on the phone. You probably can hear him. He's been on the phone for the last 14 hours. I didn't know
I heard it. I was like, what's going on?
You hear Jason in the background? You hear him? Barb,
someone say hey.
Barb said hey.
Well, next up we have what?
Hey, I don't know. He's always on the phone. He texted hey. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you can tell him later. Anyways, next up, which took up a good majority of the night, was the 12 Days of Christmas Scotland match with Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Drew Gulak, Mansoor, Eric and Ivar of the Viking Raiders, Shanky and Jinder Mahal, Sheamus, Cesaro, and Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo of Los Lotharios. With Shinsuke and Rick Booth making an entrance to watch to see who's going to be the one to earn the chance to go for the Intercontinental Championship.
So I have a rebuttal on this one. Like I was watching the show earlier, and Stefan looked like he was falling asleep, right? And I was like, damn, how could Stefan look like he was falling asleep? He just watched the episode of SmackDown. And then I realized, hey, he watched the 12-man gauntlet, and the first person on there was Angel Garza versus, I don't even remember the guy who he wrestled.
Mansoor.
Mansoor. Hey, bring out Saudi Arabia. Look, I'm trying to tell you, man, I was disappointed. I'm like, this is SmackDown, right? This is supposed to be your big boys, and you start off with Angel Garza and what was his name again, Barb?
Mansoor. Stop acting like you don't know you.
That's my point. So I'm like, okay, they got it out the way.
Hey, Mansoor's pretty
here
good.
Comes Viking Raider number one, right? Here comes Viking Raider number one. And I'm like, man, this is not good.
I'm gonna kill you later. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
Yeah, I got you. This is not good. So after Viking Raider number one gets eliminated, who comes out shaky? I'm like, the hits just keep coming. No wonder Stefan looks like he's falling asleep. I feel you, brother. This was not a Merry Christmas to me either. If I got to see Shaky wrestle, he tried though. Give him credit. He definitely went in there and tried. But you're not it, bruh. You're not it. I'm sorry. Not for SmackDown. It's not your time right now. Stick to being behind Jinder Mahal. Hey, what you think, Jason? Good job. All right, so who came in after Shanky? You took good notes. What you got? Hey, make sure you like, love, and share this to all your wrestling timelines group. I don't know why I haven't said that already.
I hate to say it, but I'm actually agreeing with Chris on this one.
You don't hate to say it. You don't have to say it. I changed societies just like you, bro.
Disagree. I don't think we should disagree with Chris right now. Like,
only assholes can agree with other assholes.
Nah,
Barbara, that is not nice for you to call you. How you gonna call your boyfriend live well, everybody watching on all types of tablets and TVs and stuff. How you gonna call him an asshole? You should be
I
ashamed
call
yourself.
him an asshole. I call him a
You
dumbass.
just changed your profile picture. You just changed your profile picture
every day. You can ask him. I call him that stuff every day. He knows I don't mean that shit.
You're so abusive. All right, who was after Shaky? Who was after Shaky? It was Ivar, right?
Yes, Ivar came out next, and
Viking Raider number. And he was beating his chest. He was like, "Yes, finally, I'm an interesting wrestler." Right? That's what he was doing.
yeah, he did that, and he eliminated Shanky.
He eliminated Shanky by doing a splash. By doing a splash, it was great. So he did that. I was like, okay, cool. Who's going to come out and challenge Viking Raider? Sheamus comes out. Sheamus was next, right?
Yeah, Sheamus was next, and Rich Holland makes an appearance after disappearing.
Nobody cares about Rich Holland. Leave him on the outside. We're not even going to mention it, right? So Sheamus comes out, right? And Sheamus is like, I can do it better than you. That's all I saw at the time. So this is a beat off. Pause. But this is a beat off in the ring. It was amazing. Realistically speaking, if you look on paper, you would say Sheamus should win this hands down. Let's just be real, right? Sheamus, former four-time heavyweight champion of the world.
I mean,
former
him
United States
as
champion,
the Intercontinental champion, I could
Money
take more
Bank.
seriously than Sami Zayn.
Okay, you're not going to do that.
That's
Sami
actually,
Zayn is one of the best.
He's actually speaking fast on that.
No. Don't act scared now. No, Sami Zayn.
Oh, honey, he doesn't need to act scared.
Sami Zayn is a great talent who puts on some of the best matches out there in the world. I would put him up against almost any wrestler.
Wait, you said Sami Zayn?
Sami Zayn. Oh.
Wait. I'm gonna stop you on there. He was great in NXT. In NXT, he was phenomenal. But when he got drafted to Raw or SmackDown, nobody didn't really care. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really care.
How could you not care about? You know what? You're part of the conspiracy. I can tell that right now.
I want to disagree. I think that Sammy, even if he sort of, I don't think you could say wrestling ability versus booking. The way he's been booked since getting to the main roster, sure, horrible.
Yep.
Like completely agreed. But to Chris's point, in ring, like prowess, like he's one of the greats. Like they've so many comparisons to Daniel Bryan. I agree with you on. I would definitely agree with you on that. It's just half the time I don't watch Raw and SmackDown because of the booking. Because there are so much great talent guys that's there. But when it comes to booking wise, it's like, dude, why are you up against him? You're like so much better than half of these guys. Like Sami Zayn, he is freaking amazing. I don't know what gimmick he have, but the whole conspiracy of him coming out with a microphone and a freaking
camera crew.
That and a sign and stuff. It's freaking amazing. Not a lot of people do it, but it's just the booking wise that messed everything up. Like it's just, I kind of think he should be the rightful person to take away the title from Nakamura. It makes the most sense that Nak hasn't defended that title in such a long time.
He's going to be that guy. He's taking that title from Nakamura. I'm telling you that. Yeah. It's going to be him. If it's not him, it's going to end up being Sheamus because Sheamus never had the Intercontinental Championship, and I'm pretty sure they're going to give it to him. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sami Zayn because he will make that Intercontinental title a lot more entertaining.
You think they do Sami and then Sheamus right after?
No, because Sheamus will have because they're not going to have a heel taking it from another heel. It's going to be Sami Zayn, and he's going to lose it to somebody who's going to be a transitional to lose it to Sheamus. But right here, George Samuel Lewis, the overseer, says could it be Naomi to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship? I mean, her feud with Sonya Deville needs to end. It will end probably in a month, and it's a possibility. Yeah. Charlotte Flair does respect Naomi. She has no choice because Charlotte Flair got checked by Naomi when Charlotte Flair first got drafted over to the main roster. But I'll say this. I'm not sure if that's going to be the immediate plan. So you have to. What you think, Jason? So I'm not sure it's going to be the immediate plans, but we will see. Same thing about WWE's. Speaking of which, let me address this. I'm sorry. Could this just be between me and Sam C? He said something that was like, I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Tamina in the Bloodline. Yeah. Why?
2 months after.
I mean, Tamina was part of the whole Usos since day one.
I see what you did there, but
yeah, he didn't even see that.
No. But here's the thing. Even though I don't watch wrestling as much now, I grew up watching wrestling since day one. Even since Tamina was with the Usos. When they finally put the Usos with Roman Reigns, my first thought was Tamina. That was my first thought. Like, I was literally thinking, dude, that would be great. Usos tag team champion, Roman Reigns world champion, Tamina women's champion. Like, that would be just a great. Like, it would just be once in a lifetime.
So here's why I would have to disagree.
Can I jump in real quick? Easy.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing, Bo. I said just between me and Sam, but that's fine. Go ahead.
I know. I have to address that. I think it's the reverse of Sami Zayn. I spoke earlier about Sami Zayn and booking being the problem, not his in-ring talent. I think it's the reverse for Tamina. It's not booking. They've given her opportunities. It's her in-ring work that has kind of led her to be an unsafe pair of hands to put that championship in. If you ask me a list of women that could possibly hold a SmackDown Women's Championship or any women's championship, her name is not on the list. And it's not because she couldn't do it, but it's even when she won the tag titles, it was like, okay, they're just giving this to her. She's been around for a while. It wasn't like, okay, she's super talented. You know, she's super talented. She's super great in the ring. Like, she's super awesome. And I think that is really what takes away from her. Like you said, she was part of the Uso stable when they first came to the main roster. So she should be a shoo-in for the bloodline. Naomi, married to an Uso, should be a shoo-in for the bloodline. And I think Paul Heyman said this a while ago.
She can't do it.
There are people associated with the bloodline that we're not seeing because they're not presented to us on screen as such. And I can only imagine he was referring to Naomi, Tamina.
She is too popular to put in the bloodline. She's
way too popular. Not even that, for Naomi, part the only way for Naomi to be part of the whole bloodline is they have her go back to her old gimmick. Her old stuff.
When she was a bad before she joined. Yeah, that's true. But right now, like I said, if you go by who's your most popular female wrestler on SmackDown, it's actually Sasha Banks. But after Sasha Banks, it's Naomi. And I just don't think turning Naomi heel right now is a good idea. So I wouldn't put her in the bloodline. Tamina, who's chasing 24, I think this is a good way for the Tamina to stay relevant is to chase after 24. This is good for her. I'm good with that. Let's keep Tamina chasing the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, chasing around someone who you say
she's in the mid-40s. She's in the mid-40s. She has Big Show's knees. It's time for her to think of something else. It's not. I agree with Stefan 100%. Good for you for interrupting me, Administrator. Good for you, because it was at the end of the day. You look at it, and it's just not for Tamina. It's not her time. I'm glad they gave her the tag team championship with Natalya, but no. Hey, Charlotte Flair dominates. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more SmackDown and maybe a few other things. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Listen, everybody on Team Raw is a former world champion. Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor. But there's one dude on the team that isn't a champion, and that's Dominic Mysterio. And so he said, tonight you're going to fight somebody to earn your spot onto the team. I thought this was brilliant. And we get the return of one of my favorite guys, my man, Bobby Smashley. Wrestling Doll, do you know why we call him Bobby Smashley around here?
Because he likes to smash the crap out of everybody through the ring until he can't no more?
You're absolutely right. That's one of the reasons, but really, the real reason is that he was sleeping with Rusev's wife, Lana. So, when you put the tools to somebody, you smash. So,
yes,
my man, Bobby Smashley.
Bobby Smashley, who's in a fatal four-way match next week on day one against Big E, as well as Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. But you're watching the Unpopular Review. I'm the executive consultant. That's the administrator. That was Sam see the wrestler in his ceiling, and that's also the Wrestling Doll. Glad to see everybody back. What else happened on SmackDown tonight, Wrestling Doll?
Well, we're still talking about the gauntlet match because y'all.
Oh my God!
That's
I'm sorry. I heard shaky and I almost fell asleep. Okay, Sheamus won. Sheamus, and then Cesaro came out.
No. Gulak came in and got eliminated, and then Cesaro came in. Exactly.
Gulak. Whoa!
Gulak is, what people
he got kicked in the face and got eliminated. That's
right,
how
because
fast
he
that
should.
was.
Because he should. So Gulak, who's a great talent, right? Main roster's not for him, and he re-signed the contract last year, and I think he did it for some money. And I remember everybody was behind him, like, "Oh, leave, go to AEW because AEW saves every WWE wrestler supposedly." And it's not it. If he goes to AEW, he's gonna wrestle in dark also. Let's just be real. It's not going to make much of a difference. The guy's a great talent. He's from a great city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm a big fan of Drew Gulak, but there's only so much he can do. I see him having a good career as a producer in the back. That's what I see happening for him, and I think that's the way they're going to go with him. That's why he still has a job. That's why he was not on the release things, and that's why they actually did make sure they signed him back, because I think he's good as a coach in the back. That's speculation. I don't know that for firsthand. But if you have any thoughts when it comes to Drew Gulak, anybody else, please feel free to jump in.
I don't got no thoughts. I hardly know a thing about it.
I'm actually with you on that, because like if he do go to AEW, he's gonna be like with that one guy that Tony
Nese.
Yeah, he's gonna be just like Tony Nese, just wrestle on the dark mat and just.
And Tony Nese actually has the look of a wrestler, like a really impressive wrestler, but it's not much he can do. And that's part of it because Tony Nese.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Tony Nese got the size, he got the body, but like he only had two. Yeah, and that too. But he only had two matches, 1 or 2 matches on AEW Dark, and that's it.
Yeah, he challenged for the TNT Championship, which spoiler alert, if it hasn't, it should have just
and
happened.
That's it.
Cody Rhodes just won the title back. Oh, that's.
We all know he's gonna be back on AEW Dark, but like the question is he has to go into or they have to go and put any storyline with Tony Nese or any belt with Tony Nese or something.
No.
I have a feeling they probably not. So that's just. I don't know. It's cool to be on AEW, but it's just one of the things with if you be on AEW, what all do you need to do in order to get signed or to actually look like somebody for them to want to see you on a daily basis?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer for that. A lot of people at AEW, a lot of AEW wrestlers can just get over it. but if you get fed the ward load, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Cesaro was next, right, Wrestling Doll?
Yes, he was next, and it was quite a match.
Yeah, him and Sheamus have unbelievable chemistry in the ring. And, I wanted to see Cesaro win, but I understand why he lost, and I'm glad he actually helped Ricochet, who was next, if I remember correctly, pick up that victory.
Was, and that was epic for me. Just watching him. Shut up! I can talk about him all.
I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about the technician David Sanderson, because he was in the morning because he watched the spoiler. He read the spoilers. You're like, I can't believe he did this to Ricochet. I was like, go referee a match. But it's like I don't understand.
He could.
Who?
If he wanted to.
Who? The technician?
Who else would I be talking about?
Y'all need to let Ricochet go. You and him.
No.
Okay. Yes.
No. Hell no.
I'm surprised the
ring
because Sami Zayn needed to beat a legitimate babyface, right? Cesaro was almost eliminated, so you have to have Ricochet. Ricochet was built up. He beat 3 wrestlers in a row, right? So fans will automatically, piped in fans and the real fans there, he'll automatically get behind Ricochet. That's what they did. And then Sami Zayn, as that heel, that annoying heel, comes in, beats him, generates the heel heat. That's all that was about. Right?
I saw that. I didn't care. I enjoyed that too much. Watching him in that ring is people need to pay more attention to him because he has the skills, whether he is in the air or in the ring.
And I told you this numerous of times, but I'm actually agreeing with Chris on this.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
No, wait, no. I'm
going to kill you.
No, look.
I don't care how much Chris. I'm killing this one.
No, here's the thing, though.
Oh, I know, you can kill him.
Ricochet is amazing. I am a huge fan of Ricochet. Hell, half of the stuff that I do in the ring, I actually stole it from Ricochet. But I am a huge fan of Ricochet. But the only problem with Ricochet right now is that I don't think he's it's the booking. All there is, he's just a bodyguard. He's just a body. He's just a body for a hero to beat, and just like that. So I kind of think they need to get rid of Ricochet, have him go to AEW.
Hell fucking no. Well, I want Ricochet to go to AEW.
Or
you
Impact
are out of your
or
damn
something.
mind.
What?
They have plans for him on SmackDown. They do have plans for him on SmackDown because whoever is the heel that beats Shinsuke, well, at the end, when it's going to be Sheamus, I think Ricochet's going to be the one to take that title. Because I feel like they are, since he got drafted in SmackDown, they're giving him a little bit more clout and a little bit more push than they did on Raw.
If they give it to somebody else to face Sami Zayn, they need to give her a Ricochet. Because I don't know. I'm just tired.
Somebody likes Ricochet. Somebody likes him. Because he should be
I wonder who.
I know Randy said he likes him. I know Stefan's been amazingly quiet about it, so I don't know.
I don't think he likes Ricochet.
You don't like
Hell,
Ricochet?
he was iffy when we picked him in our mock draft.
I'm not a huge fan of Ricochet. I'm a fan of his work on the Indies, so I like him better before he came into the E. Now he's sort of like been. It's another thing about like NXT was amazing. I loved what Triple H did. But
You just read the comment, and yes, I do, George. I do it every single day.
All right, go ahead, Stefan. My bad.
Yeah, like I honestly think that it's like it's one of those cases of like you're super talented, but there's things that you're missing. Mic work, definitely something that Ricochet's missing. Something like he needs somebody with him. Like, and I wouldn't mind seeing a manager of some sort with him, but at this point,
WWE doesn't do managers. Good luck
with that.
WWE doesn't like managers like that.
I mean, they don't. But I mean, if you could position him with somebody like Paul Heyman that helps his character for a little while. Paul Heyman figure. I'm not saying Paul himself. But
here's what
somebody like along those lines. You know what I mean? Like put him with somebody that's a good talker. It doesn't have to be a manager per se, but it could be a partner of some sort. You know what I mean? And you don't have to go up the tag ranks. You can go up like perfect example is and I'm gonna use an AEW reference. It's what's his guy's name? Damn it, Leo Rush and who he's with.
Oh, Dante
Martin.
Yeah,
really great talents. Dante's amazing in ring.
Yeah,
but
Leo Rush can talk.
Exactly.
But Leo Rush can talk. Yeah,
exactly. So it's the same thing with Ricochet. Ricochet's been all over the world. He can do almost anything. But the fact of the matter is, there are things that he is missing that are fundamental to being a champion in WWE. Vince is not going to trust somebody with a belt that has to promote his brand if you can't talk, if you can't do interviews, if you can't do media days and stuff like that. Ricochet's just not that guy. And it sucks to say it. And I know my broadcast partner is looking at me like, you mother.
But I'm looking at you like that.
But look, all I'm saying is you gotta,
like that.
You got to look. All I'm saying is you got to kind of.
Because I can.
He didn't do anything wrong.
I can look at him however I want, okay?
I mean, that's true. You can. He's your man. You can do the way you want. I just don't understand why. I just think you're being a bully. Stefan, I think you had some very good points with Ricochet. I completely agree with you. I can't say manager like Heyman. Heyman, in my opinion, is the greatest manager of all time. But what people need to realize when it comes to Paul Heyman is, if you look at his Paul Heyman guys, right, the ones he managed all didn't necessarily need him as a manager. Roman Reigns does not necessarily. Roman Reigns is so good right now. He don't need Paul Heyman, but he works well with Paul Heyman. Person before that he had was Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, as you can see now, can actually talk without him, but he works better with Paul Heyman, right? Paul Heyman has established guys. CM Punk is another one. We all know CM Punk can talk on the fucking microphone, but he worked better with Paul Heyman. But then you put Paul Heyman with somebody who does not know how to back himself up. Also, no offense, Cesaro, Curtis Axel, Ryback, didn't work as well. They tried, it didn't work as well. Got to have him with some established stars. But he's still, in my opinion, one of the greatest matches. Because Paul Heyman is exactly, if there's any person on that microphone that I like to mirror myself after the most, is Paul Heyman. Because it's the littlest things with Paul Heyman. The facial expression, the eyes, the way he speaks in sound bites. He does not speak fast. He speaks very slowly and gets his point across. I am a big fan of Paul Heyman. I love this package tonight. Pause. Now, I'm sorry, Barbara. I can't deal with this daggone gauntlet anymore. Sami Zayn won it. Let's go to the Miracle on 34th Street match after this next commercial, and I figure out why he's still doing all that talking. Be right back. You're watching a popular review.
I think this will be the first time that MJF wants that notoriety for himself. I don't know if he'll put other people in CM Punk's way. EC, what do you think?
For how I would write it is CM Punk does take the L, much like All Elite Joker says. Oh shit, he just beat CM Punk. Hangman Page might be in trouble. Guess what? Hangman Page drops that title. CM Punk comes back and says, I've beaten pretty much everybody since I've been back. except for you. Why divine intervention? You hit the nail on the head. Don't put anybody in front of him. I want that. You need to. I said, Maxwell, and I offered you my hand, and you didn't shake it. You basically laughed in my face and walked away.
Yeah.
Come on, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then the fact that CM Punk didn't say anything makes you even more curious of what's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
What's going to happen the week after that? It's the storytelling is being told. It stretches things out. I love it. I'm here for it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review. I'm the executive consultant, joined today by the administrator, Wrestling Doll, and Samuel C., the wrestler. And we're here for Smackdown, right? A take Smackdown. Merry Christmas to everybody. You want to give me a Christmas present? Make sure you like, love, and share this to all your wrestling timelines and groups. And you follow us on our social media, as well as our YouTube, as well as our YouTube sister channels, UPRE and Unpopular Review Gaming. Let's talk about this main event. I don't even know what else talked about. But the Miracle on 34th Street, Drew McIntyre, as well as the New Day against the Usos and Riddick Moss, Madcap Moss, whatever you want to call him, who I think has improved a great deal in the last year. Administrator, I'll start with you. Your thoughts when it comes to this match. Your thoughts when it comes to Madcap Moss, the Usos, everybody, actually.
Madcap Moss, gotta agree with you. Great improvements over the last year. They're kind of defining him as the character and giving him his own shtick, which is really great. And I like what I'm seeing from him. The Usos are always great. Drew McIntyre, what can I say about Drew that we haven't already said on this show? Like UPRWY. He's incredible. World championship caliber talent. I don't think that stopped being the case. And I expect to see him in the title picture next year, actually.
Very soon.
A bit of, spoiler. I don't see him winning the Rumble. I'm not going to say he's going to win the Rumble. No. But I do see him in the title picture at some point against Roman Reigns, even if he doesn't successfully take that title off of Roman. But yeah, really good match.
You forgot to mention he's every week he's an attempted murderer.
He really is. I think I tell Barbara every week. This guy comes out swinging the sword every week and almost murders somebody.
He impaled a table last time.
You didn't necessarily see it, but tonight he tried to go for I think it was Happy Corbin. Somebody was on that thing and they rolled out and he was like swinging for his head. And I'm like, and he's smiling about it. I'm like,
well,
you don't think it's a little sick that you're trying to kill people on live television in front of thousands of people there and millions of people watching around the world? Like, I don't understand you. And he just
do not touch the sword of a man who named it after his mother, and they tried to steal it from the desk last week. Okay, so
Monday night while Raw is in I forgot where Raw is, but where Raw is there, SmackDown's having a house show here in Orlando that I'm going to, and Drew McIntyre is going to be there. The last house show I went to, Drew McIntyre was there. He actually comes out. He throws the Angela, that's what he calls the other name after his mother, on the ground when he comes out for the thing. So he doesn't really give a crap about that title unless it's on TV, right? So I'm really looking forward to going to this right there. And hey, here's a Christmas present. We're 39 minutes into this, and we didn't get Elvis until now. So we had 39 minutes apiece. Elvis, how are you doing?
Yippee.
Yeah, exactly. That's the energy you drop. No, you don't want to read that. Is it possible that the New Day could be the ones to take the SmackDown Tag Team Championship against the Usos? No, I think they're going to try very hard to have it be the Viking Raiders. I think that's what they're going to do. If you really pay attention, the Viking Raiders got
Look at their faces.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I said that's what they're trying to do. They just gave them pyro, right? They just gave them pyro. They made sure that they really stick on the Viking Raider theme with them. I think they're having a push coming. I think that's who they want to take the titles away from the Usos. Now, by the time that move is supposed to be trigger is supposed to be pulled, are they still going to go with it because they'll realize the Viking Raiders has no momentum behind them? Possibly not. But as of right now, I think the Viking Raiders are the one to be booked to beat the Usos for those tag team titles. What you got?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Me either.
Could they win those titles? No, hell no. I don't think they're winning those belts. But you got to do something with your tag division, and you can't always go back to New Day Usos. Like they're two teams that mesh really well, and
it's their fault for splitting so many tag teams during the draft.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them credit. Give the Viking, what is it? The Viking Warrior, Viking Raider, whatever.
That
War Machine.
Oh, okay. War Machine. Yeah, that name.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that
you
name.
guys are
All right, so
ridiculous.
give War Machine a title shot, and then have them lose, and then just have them team up or go up against somebody else, and just leave it like that. Just give them one title shot and just leave it like that. I just don't see myself seeing the War Machine beating the Usos. Because
The
if they
problem
do,
is,
no. Here's the thing, and you're probably going to agree with me on this. If they do, that's called bad booking right there.
I agree. The problem is, though, I mean, you think they want to learn from their mistakes. So the Viking Raiders are former Raw Tag Team Champions. The
Yeah.
problem with that their title reign is nobody remembers it. That's the thing.
And that's the thing. Nobody know who they are now.
They tried to give them something. The best
Yeah.
thing they did was have them do those little series with the Street Profits because it made
Yep.
them look like they had some kind of life to it. But when they get in the ring, even though they're solid tag team, they're really good actually. You know, I think talking about the WWE audience is different.
I literally think the whole thing that messed them up was their name. Because I think that's the whole thing. I think that's the reason why they messed them up. Because when they were on NXT, they was probably the top tag team on NXT.
Correct.
So and then when they got drafted, or not even drafted to Raw, they changed the name to like War Machine. No, to War Machine to Viking. What is it?
Viking Raiders.
It's a Viking
okay.
for a week.
Who the hell wants to say that? Like, if your name is War Machine, don't we all want to yell war like every single time they come out? But
See,
now they're doing this every single time for no reason.
Because
like,
this
seriously?
wasn't hit. This wasn't. They were doing this, and nobody was doing this with them in the WWE arena. They did it in NXT, but they weren't doing it in the WWE arena. So now they changed it to this. It's all creative booking. Now they changed it to this, and they got a rhythm going because they think people are going to do it.
They're doing one person. Sorry to cut you guys off and to kill time, but they're doing one person that can be able to do it, and that's Sheamus. Leave that to him. Don't give it to those two tag teams. That's just how I feel.
They had a beat off in the middle of the ring earlier. I started uploading.
I'm
I started
glad I
uploading
didn't
to Pornhub. It was great.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you, Lord. Big Daddy
go
Cool's
on.
not here, Chris. We're not on Monday Night Raw. We don't need to get like that.
Hey, we get raw, baby.
That was bad. That was as bad as a Mad Cat joke.
Speaking of bad, let's talk about that gauntlet match again.
No, let's not talk about that gauntlet match again. Let's just stick to the Miracle on 34th Street Fight,
Go ahead.
which was amazing and hilarious, especially when when Jay was drinking the eggnog and he looked like he was gonna throw up, and then they pour the eggnog on Corbin and Moss, which was hilarious, and then the Usos get attacked with freaking cookies. But what's also interesting was the Usos push them into the trees and the presents, and then they get attacked by those same things. It's like, you really can't go wrong with the street fight. Nothing can go wrong with the street fight. Anything goes. It's freaking insane. I enjoy watching those.
I'm about to watch it.
You're going to have to. It's entertaining.
Hey, Chris, you done?
No, because sooner or later it's going to get over. That's what WWE's thinking. You know, and I respect it.
No, you don't. You're lying. You're
That's what they're
funny.
doing. If you keep coming out and keep doing it, sooner or later somebody's going to join them. No, they're not. They're not. It's not it. It's not
I don't join in when that happens. The only
It's
thing I
not
join
it.
in is Shinsuke when he comes out.
I respect Mad Cat Moss. He's really impressed me.
I respect his in-ring skill tonight.
Yeah, his in-ring skill.
Everything else, I do not.
After the match, the New Day and the New McIntyre tossed some presents to WWE Universe. Yes, it's called pandering. This says, hey, thanks for doing these 4 hours with us. We respect you. We would give you Roman Reigns as the dark match, but he already went home. That's pretty.
He wasn't even there today.
It was taped last week.
I know that. I'm just saying
Immediately
he
after
wasn't even
SmackDown.
there.
No, I know, but when Roman Reigns came out with them last week, he got a huge ass pop and that's most places because Roman is very well loved now. But they had to watch another They had to sit through another SmackDown, including the Viking Raiders, and they were hoping probably because WWE likes doing a dark match at the end of the tapings and stuff that Roman Reigns was going to be in it. But Roman said, "I'm going home. Right? I got this flight. I'm going home." And he went home, and Uso stayed. And they probably wanted to see Roman Reigns, but they said, "Hey, you're not going to get Roman Reigns. Here's your shirt." That's what happened.
Yeah, which y'all would probably love.
Actually, they gave me my Christmas present. My Christmas present was a Roman Reigns jacket.
That's not surprising.
Head of the table.
Not with you, it's not surprising.
Head of
You'll
the
never
table.
catch me wearing any of that stuff.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the only wrestling gear I've ever seen you wear is something called Society Changer shirt. I did see that. You wore it on Unpopular Review. So,
Don't look at me with that face. You already know it. I told you. Shut up. Take that face off right now. I will smack it off of your face when I see you.
Stop being violent. You don't want to get in the ring.
Oh, I've headlocked him quite a few times. Just ask him. I got a pretty good headlock.
Beautiful. Stefan, what's your overall thoughts on this episode of SmackDown?
Short, sweet, straight to the point. Pretty cool. There was some dragging parts like the icy stuff, but pretty good. Wow. It's ass.
What?
Your overall thoughts when it comes to SmackDown?
My overall thoughts when it came to SmackDown was it was good tonight, and I was happy that there wasn't that many segments.
And Sam C.
I'm going to watch SmackDown tonight on YouTube. But other than that, but what you guys telling me, it sounds good. Like I just can't wait to watch all the craziness that happened in all these matches. But I don't know, like I'm gonna have to get back into watching it so I can understand what you guys are talking about.
I have two questions for you, Sam C. Tell me where Imperium is on your list of the top factions.
Oh, will you stop?
Hold on, can I ask a question?
No, you can't ask me that question. You're not asking that question.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Why can't I?
No, you're not.
Fine, I won't ask that question.
Yes, you will.
What was the question?
Your girlfriend won't let me ask you, so I won't ask you that. I'll ask you this one. Where is the Hurt Business on your top 5 factions?
I hate you.
What?
I fucking hate you.
Where's the Hurt Business on your top factions of all time?
I'm gonna kill you.
The Hurt?
The Hurt Business.
Okay, what about the Hurt Business?
Are they your top factions of all time?
Listen, I pulled the list out of my head. Okay, I wasn't thinking properly. All right, so shut up. I was thinking of people that I could think of. If I could have, I would have switched it up if I could.
I will probably say, like right now, or like
all time.
No.
What? You would have put the Hurt Business in there? What about Imperium?
No. I mean, that's hard because there's so many great teams on there. There's so many great teams. Okay. If I had to, no. If I had to pick the top 10,
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the one that asked you the questions.
If I had to pick the top 10, I would probably have the Hurt Business at number 5.
Okay, that's Barb. That's almost around where you had them.
I'll probably put them in number 5.
What about Imperium? Okay, that's.
I'm not really a big fan of them.
Okay, I got one more for you. The 4 Horsemen.
I'm going to fucking kill you.
No, you're not. The 4 Horsemen.
Yes, I am. I don't care. I'll kill
Number
you too.
Number
2 for the 4
Yep.
Horsemen.
Kill you.
Yep. And I'm gonna pick, and I'm gonna get you on this, Chris, because I watched the last podcast about the whole tag team, and I heard that you don't like Evolution.
I'm not a fan of Evolution, no.
Why?
Because for the year between 2002 and 2004, they were just like dominating everything, and it got boring to me.
No, here's the thing. The reason why I love the Evolution is because you got the big man, the conqueror, the legend, and the newcomer that's going to be a legend.
Mm-hmm. The mechanics are good. The formula is good, but what they did was just boring to me. They go out there, they just beat everybody's ass. It was just like it was an Evolution show every single day, and it was just boring to me.
I was always a big fan of Evolution, and you guys probably gonna hate me on this, but I would probably say Evolution would be my number 1.
I mean that's fine. I mean, Sam, look, we don't all make good decisions in life. Clearly, you didn't make it. I get that. I respect it. Like, Evolution is not mine. Mine will always be the Generation X. Right? And you don't like it. I got 2 words for it. Let me catch up with some of these comments before we wrap up. 6 comments in here. I said, I gave you my presents for Christmas. Well, that's why I don't celebrate Christmas.
Can I give it back? Because I don't want that present. I'd rather have this one over here.
Hashtag Mitt joins UPR. Elvis Martinez says the 4 Horsewomen. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Like, who picks the 4 Horsewomen as a faction?
Shut up.
Mitt and Patel says Elvis Martinez, Merry Christmas, bro. Marvel Avengers are the best factions. Oh.
Yeah.
What about Undisputed Era? They were stable. What do you rank them? I would not put them in my top 10. I think they were very good. I think they were very dominant, but I would not put them in my top 10.
Number 7. They're number 7 on my list.
Number 7.
Yep.
Very interesting. Maybe in the next special, I'll have you come on because, yeah, you got some questionable decisions there, broski. Questionable decisions. Stefan is stepping down as a regular host of UPR. This is his last episode of SmackDown for quite some time. Barbara, you're going to be getting rotating hosts starting next week. And I think Mike Knox is going to be your first host. I think that's
okay, that'll be fun.
Mike Knox is going to be your first host. I will probably be second one. But it's going to be great. Let's do some plugs and hurry up and leave the LWO, BWO.
No.
Oh my God, Elvis.
No.
Elvis has questionable taste.
How is DX not a faction? Make that make sense to Chris. Make that make sense to Chris, man.
Really?
That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense, right?
Somebody's not a wrestling fan.
At all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us. Please make sure you join us every single Monday for Around the Blocks with Mike Knox. This is at 6 o'clock for the intelligent wrestling fan. So when you make comments like DX is not really a faction, you can't watch this show. Immediately after Monday Night Raw, join myself as well as Big Daddy Cool and most of the time the Wrestling Doll as we bring you Monday Night Raw each and every single Monday night after Monday Night Raw. Plain and simple. Each and every single Tuesday, join Bad Guy Jack and Captain Shay as they talk all the action of NXT 2.0. Each and every single Wednesday, you can watch Divine Intervention as well as All Elite Joker as they talk about AEW Dynamite. They're returning next Wednesday after I had to sit in on AEW in a fun episode with Captain Shakespeare this past Wednesday as well as Mad Dog Kelly. And then, of course, on Friday, it's the Wrestling Doll's very own show with special guests, and that is on Friday Night SmackDown. And of course, make sure that you also tune in every single Tuesday and Saturday to Unpopular Review Gaming as we play different games. I think Saturday we're playing Super Smash Brothers, and we're going to have that on air. And I'm actually going to join that to kick some ass on air for everybody who thinks they can beat Chris, but of course nobody can beat me in Super Smash Brothers. And UPRE returns next week with a different episode, including the latest Matrix movie. I think we're going to review coming up. So we have a lot of content here for you here at Unpopular Review. So for myself, Administrator, do you have any parting words, Mister? I'm not feeling well. Okay, he's been eating chicken noodle soup and drinking tea this whole time. Trying to get him
Thank you. No parting words. I feel like this isn't a goodbye. I'm still going to be very much a part of the UPR team, but like very much backstage. So I will be seeing Wrestling Doll again. I will be on one Friday a month. That is my contractual obligation to Friday nights. So you guys will be seeing me, but definitely continue supporting because like since Wrestling Doll's been on, she's been amazing. So and obviously Sam, thank you for coming on today. This is a huge surprise, and to have a wrestler on the show, we don't get that too often. So I'm really happy.
Now you had a wrestler.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've only had one in Sydney, right, Chris? Sydney was
you talking about as no. I mean, we interviewed quite a few wrestlers, but if you
I was here.
I think Sam's the first one we actually had on on a regular show, not as an interview show.
Yeah. Well, that's it for me. Merry Christmas, everybody.
That was lame. I'm so disappointed in you. Do better next time. Wrestling Doll, what you got?
Well, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and that I will be seeing you all for the New Year's Eve special. And I won't be in my usual setup over here. I'm going to be out of town to see this one over here. So my setup's going to look like his next week.
Okay, that was awesome.
I can say, hey, people, I'm saying now.
Like my setup's gonna look because I'm gonna be at his place. Okay, all right.
I mean, I can say what I want.
I will be drunk in Atlanta. So
of course you will.
I hope. What was that supposed to be?
Now you're gonna have fun on New
I'll
Year's.
be
What do you
drunk
think
in
I
Atlanta.
mean?
I'll be drunk in Atlanta getting another one of my female friends hooked up with a man. How about that? Huh? What? What you gotta say? What you gotta say? You got something to say? No, you don't.
That's not
Samuel
being a
C.
wingman, honey.
Samuel
That's
C.
what I gotta say.
I'm the best wingman. I'm the best wingman. That's Chris right there. Sam C. Where can the Hammerniggers find you and watch you? He's on.
No, I don't.
You can find him on YouTube at Samuel C. the Society Changer.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm just like half asleep right now. But yeah, yeah, you can find me on YouTube. You type in Samuel C. The Wrestler or the Society Changer Samuel C. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Real Samuel C. Or Twitter, Real Samuel C. Or TikTok, Real Samuel C. So yeah, so everything is real when it comes to me.
When's your next match?
My next match is January 15th in Orlando, Florida at Division Pro. I'll be going up against Tito Torres. Again.
I saw that. I will be there for that.
Awesome.
I will be there live in a living color. Division Pro Wrestling is a very good show. Always enjoy. I'm actually trying to get a commentary gig there. They need to hire me. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, for Wrestling Doll, for the administrator, for Samuel C., I'm the executive consultant. Thank you so much for watching us. We'll see you tomorrow for Unpopular Review Game and Christmas Special Edition. My Christmas presents are ass whoopings. That's what I do. Thank you so much for watching us, and have a good night.